welcome to the In My View podcast, everybody. And of course, you know we only do previews of big games. And this week coming up, we have a massive game in the English calendar. A game that for the past 10, probably 12 years, lost its importance in terms of points, its importance in terms of prestige. But it seems now that this game is slowly getting back there, especially this season with Manchester United in third and Arsenal in first. So yes, I have given away the game that I'm previewing this week. There's another big game coming up this week, Chelsea versus Liverpool, but that's, I think, 9th versus 10th. I mean, we can't call those games in teams in those positions. We can't call those big games. So it's Manchester United versus Arsenal. But before I give you my preview, I'm going to ask you guys to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. This is the In My View podcast, everybody. Welcome to the YouTube channel for those who are watching for the first time. I mean, if you like the content, again, like, share, click subscribe button. Also, you can click on the notification button so you can be notified whenever I upload a brand new video. And we're trying to do at least one video per week. Okay, at least one video per week. So without going any further, let's talk about this big game, its importance. Manchester United, after the game against Crystal Palace, they would have wanted to take 3 points against Crystal Palace to go into this Arsenal game to cut the gap in terms of beating Arsenal at home. However, one key thing happened in that Crystal Palace game. Well, two. One, didn't get the victory. Two, that yellow card to Casemiro. Casemiro is a big, a massive part of the winning streak that Manchester United was on. The unbeaten streak that they're still on is a big part of that. So when you take Casemiro out of that equation, no, that's a big miss. Also a big miss in the Manchester United team is Anthony Martial. I mean, a lot of persons say that he's not the centre forward that Manchester United need. He's too lazy, but I believe his older play to bring others into the game is pretty much good. He allows space for Rashford to work, and of course it allows Rashford to play on his preferred side, which is the left-hand side of the attacking trio. So big problems for Manchester United going into a game where you want to have all your players available. You want to have your best players available for you to take on the league leaders, who is Arsenal. And I mean, that Casemiro yellow card, if Manchester United had, say, a 30% chance of winning this game, that Casemiro yellow card that rules him out of this game basically cut it to 15. So am I giving away my thoughts so early? No, I'm not. So let me now go into the predicted starting level for Manchester United. I'm thinking that Manchester United will play the same back four that played against Crystal Palace. Luke Shaw at left back. I don't think we'll see Luke Shaw going into central defense for this game. I think Luke Shaw will play left back. Wan-Bissaka at right back. Varane and Martinez in the middle of the defense. In the midfield, I'm thinking that Fred, Scott McTominay, and Eriksen will start in the middle of the park. Bruno Fernandes will start on the left-hand side. Rashford will start on the right. No, Bruno Fernandes will start on the right-hand side. Rashford will start on the left-hand side. And I'm mixed up myself. Anthony will start on the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes will start on the left-hand side. And Rashford will start through the middle. And I think that Rashford through the middle, his pace on the counter-attack is something that Manchester United exploited during the first match against Arsenal. And they'll be looking to do the same now. So that is my predicted 11 for Manchester United. For Arsenal, I think it will be the same 11 that persons know that this is Arsenal's strongest 11. So this is what they will put out. Ramsdale in goal, Saliba and Gabriel in the middle of the defense. Zinchenko at left back. Ben White at right back. Partey in the middle of the park with Xhaka. Odegaard being the number 10 in the free role, Martinelli, Saka, and the youngster Nketiah, who has been doing a good job since Gabriel Jesus has come out of the team with injury. So this Arsenal team basically picks itself. Everybody know the roles of all these players. The players know the roles that they need to fulfill in this game. So it will be a tough game for Manchester United, and especially that the game is played at the Emirates. I mean, it could be one of those blockbuster nights for Arsenal where they absolutely rip apart this Manchester United team like they did last year, that 3-1 victory. So they can rip apart this Manchester United team and also give themselves some momentum, well, more momentum going into the middle part, if you want to call it, the middle part of the season. Before the Europa League games comes in, they could pick up some more points. And I mean, they have that difficult game against Manchester United, because it is a difficult game for Arsenal. They have 2 difficult games coming up against Man City. So 3 points here for Arsenal, I think is massive. It's of massive importance that they get these 3 points against Manchester United, because you don't want to lose to Manchester United. And the gap again, when City plays, the gap would be 3 points if City were to win before Arsenal. The gap would cut to 2 points, and you have City to play twice. So you don't want to put yourself in that conundrum, especially with this Manchester City team. They have not been at their best, but they're still there. So you want to, if you're Arsenal, if you're Mikel Arteta, you want to go out and you want to say, listen guys, we need to put away this Manchester United team. So with that being said, let's get into the tactical side of the game. And you know that I have the best tactical analysis, better than what you're looking at on TV. So let me give you my tactical analysis of where this game will be won and lost. For Manchester United to win this game, 2 things have to come into play. 1, they need to have Scott McTominay, Fred, and Eriksen need to have a brilliant game in the middle of the park. That's 1. And 2, the counter-attack through Bruno Fernandes, through Rashford, and through Anthony has to be on point. And the reason why I'm highlighting these 2 things is because I think that Manchester United wouldn't want to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal in terms of playing an open game at the Emirates against a team that is brimming in confidence. You don't want to play an open game against them. So what do? Manchester United, Erik ten Hag, I don't think he will say, listen, we're going to sit back and counter. When you have the ball, you will try to play through the lines and play some pretty football. But at the end of the day, it's about digging in if you're Manchester United, especially in the first 15-20 minutes. So you want to dig in and, of course, exploit Arsenal on the counter-attack. For Arsenal, the game will be won and lost based on what the man for Arsenal is doing, and that man is Odegaard. I mean, he is an excellent footballer. With Casemiro out of this game, Odegaard would be thinking, listen, this is my midfield. I am the one who's going to take up this midfield. I am the one who's going to create for my attacking players. I am the one who's going to, pull the strings. And can a Fred, can a Scott McTominay, can they match the guile, the skill level of what Odegaard have to offer in this game? Can they stop him? Can they get close to him? We saw Fred man-marking Kevin De Bruyne, but Kevin De Bruyne is kind of off form right now. So can he man-mark? Will Erik ten Hag send Fred to man-mark Martin Odegaard? I mean, that can be a dangerous ploy, because if you send Fred to man-mark him, he can pull Fred all over the football field, open up spaces in the middle of the park, and Arsenal play inverted wing backs, so the likes of Zinchenko would come into play in terms of his ability to pass the ball. I think his passing range, Zinchenko, is not the best at treading passes through the lines, but his passing range, his ability to keep the ball, to keep it moving, I think is underrated. So that is why for the national teams he plays in midfield. So he has that ability to pass the ball and keep the ball moving. And now you're going to ask Bruno Fernandes to stay close to him, or Anthony to stay close to him. So it's going to be a long tactical battle in the middle of the park. And that's where I think this game will be won and lost, in the middle of the park. If you're Arsenal, Manchester United, again, let me say this, without Casemiro, you'll be thinking, listen, I can win this middle of the park. I can. The likes of Thomas Partey, the likes of Granit Xhaka, who has been excellent this season, both of them, they will be thinking that, listen, Fred, Scott McTominay, come on. They should be able to match this and take over this midfield, especially that they're at home. Now, when that happens, if you take over the midfield, you're thinking, what can your attacking players produce? So let's go to the wide areas now. You're looking at the likes of Martinelli versus Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw versus Saka. Now, in terms of pace, in terms of trickery, these two wide players for Arsenal, they have it. They have it in abundance. They have the pace, they have the trickery. But the best 1v1 defender, wide defender in the world is definitely Wan-Bissaka. It's not going to be easy to get around Wan-Bissaka, so you probably have to double team. But Arsenal plays inverted wing back, so they're going to ask the likes of Xhaka to go over there and in terms of getting the ball and double team Wan-Bissaka, because 1v1 I don't think you're going to get the best of Wan-Bissaka. Martinelli, I can be wrong. Martinelli can turn up on Sunday and absolutely scorch Wan-Bissaka, but I've never seen that happen. So if it happens, it's definitely going to be a surprise. So on the other side of the football field, you're talking about Luke Shaw, who is in prime form, versus Saka. Now, I think that's a battle that can go either way. Saka can take Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw can get the better of Saka. We have seen when Arsenal played against Newcastle, the job that I think Dan Burn did on Saka. He did a brilliant job on Saka. So can Luke Shaw do the same thing? On the defensive end for Arsenal now, you're talking about Ben White versus who's playing on the right back area versus Bruno Fernandes, who I think will play in the wide area on the left hand side, because there is no Anthony Martial. I don't think Garnacho will start. I think Garnacho will come off the bench. If Garnacho starts, then Ben White is going to be in for a rough evening, because this player is going to take on the entire Arsenal backline relentless. Every single time he gets it, he's going to take them on. However, I don't think he will start. I think he will come onto the football field. So can Bruno Fernandes use his passing range to outwit the Arsenal backline? As soon as Manchester United win the ball, you look at probably, you don't want to give Marcus Rashford space behind you. And Marcus Rashford and Kylian Mbappe are the two players who you do not want to be in a foot race, especially playing an eye defensive line. They can take this eye defensive line. Marcus Rashford did it when they played against Arsenal at Old Trafford. He did it when they played against Liverpool, and he has been doing that in his career. Marcus Rashford is one of those players who, when it comes down to counter-attacking football, he is one of those players who I think love the counter-attacking style. So if Manchester United goes into this game primarily looking to counter-attack, not sit back, but primarily looking to, as we gain the ball from Arsenal, we're going to counter-attack them. Marcus Rashford is a prime player to further counter-attacking threat. Now, let's look at the players on the bench and to see who can come on and change the game. Garnacho comes up for Manchester United. He has been coming on and changing games. I mean, his directness, his skill level, his intelligence for a young player, that's pretty threatening, especially going up against tired legs. On the bench of Arsenal, they have Vieira, who is a good technical player. They have, what's his name? Emil Smith-Rowe, who can come on and do his thing. But I think the bench for both teams is, and of course, I think Arsenal will have Trossard coming off the bench this Sunday. So Arsenal bench a bit stronger than Manchester United's. I mean, on Manchester United bench, I'm not sure if Jordan Sancho will be on it. So it is a bit light, Manchester United bench. Apart from Garnacho, there is no one else can come off the bench and give you something to worry about. So I guess that there's not much the coaches can do off the bench. But for this game, to give my prediction, I've already gone through the battles that I think will happen in this game. As a Manchester United fan, I am hoping that Manchester United can go out there and win the game. Because winning this game will mean a lot to us fans and mean a lot to the league itself, because now the league will be tighter in terms of Arsenal and Man City getting a bit closer. But I think going up to the Emirates without Casemiro, without Martial, and these are not excuses, just reality, we are going to be in for a rough time. And I'm thinking that this game will have one of two results. I'm totally taking out Manchester United winning this game out of the equation for the reasons I've listed. The Arsenal team is just too good. They have their first 11 outside of Gabi Jesus. They're just too good at home for Manchester United to turn up and beat them. That's my opinion. So this game is going to be either an Arsenal win or a draw. and I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Marcus Rashford and Nketiah to get the goals. This has been the In My View podcast, everybody. Please like, subscribe, share, and yeah, that's it. If you like the content, please subscribe, share, like, comment. If you have a different scoreline in your mind, please comment. Well, last week I got my scoreline correct with Manchester United beating Man City 2-1. I had that, so hopefully I'm wrong this weekend and Manchester United win as a Man U fan. But as a pure footballing point of view, it's going to be hard for Manchester United to win that game. So like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching the In My View podcast, everyone.